Assembly Speaker of the House, Shelia Y. Oliver, representing District 34, and as she comes forward, I'd like to inform everyone that the State Assembly has passed a resolution mourning the passing of Esther Schwarz. And as well, the Irvington Township Council has passed a resolution mourning Esther's passing. And we acknowledge Councilwoman at Large, Levy Jones. And now Ms. Oliver.
Good afternoon. I too would like to express my heartfelt condolences to the Schwarz family. And it is such a fulfilled sense to see such a diverse and divergent group of people gathered here today to pay homage to the life of Esther Schwarz. I would like to just share some of my reflections of Esther with you. Our life journeys converged in the early 1980s when I became a director of what is now called the Essex County Department of Citizen Services. And I was in my early 30s. Esther was probably a decade or so older than I, and I became Esther's boss. But there were some days when Esther was my boss. I early on developed an image of Esther in my mind. And those of you of my generation, the baby boomer generation, who watched television, you know that there was a program that came on that was called The Golden Girls. And I believed that Esther Schwarz was a dead ringer for B. Arthur. And there was never a time I could look at The Golden Girls and look at B. Arthur and not think of Esther. You know, many times people express to me that having the opportunity to serve as Speaker of the Legislature is such a magnanimous achievement for a woman. And I often retort back that there were many women before me who had a much heavier lift. And Esther Schwarz was one of those women who certainly, based on the era in which she was born, had a heavy lift in terms of making a commitment to being a woman of achievement and accomplishment. Tom Giblin said it best. There was nothing more that she loved than being able to solve a problem for someone. And she did that very well as director of the Division of Consumer Services. We had two Esthers that worked in that department. One was Esther Schwarz, the director, and she had a subordinate whose name was Esther Chernovsky. Esther Chernovsky was all of 4'9". Esther Schwarz, you know, was 5'8" or so. And we in the office would say, Big Esther and Little Esther. And there was such a rivalry between the two Esthers that it made for great lunchtime conversation. Esther did everything with tenacity. If she had to deal with an issue, she didn't let it go until she let it go. And our big boss was a man by the name of Alan Zalkine, and there was nothing more I loved than to see Alan get exasperated over the behavior of Esther. But Esther bossed him around as well. Esther was a pioneer Renaissance woman, just think, a woman running a motor vehicle agency during the period of time that Esther did that. Have you been to motor vehicles lately to see what you have to deal with? She had she had a tenacity before her time, Renaissance woman. You meet a lot of people in life. You don't remember them all. Esther.
The family is asked